You're looking at old footage and something in your chest recognizes what you're seeing, even though you can't name it. Faces turned toward each other, eyes meeting without escape routes, bodies existing without documentation. Not happiness, something else. The thing you had before you learned to watch yourself living. You know exactly when you lost it. Not the date, but the feeling. That shift from being to performing, from experiencing to recording, from living moments to creating evidence of moments. Your body remembers what your mind pretends to forget. The weight of an empty pocket, the possibility of being unreachable, the freedom of plans that couldn't change because no one could text their revision. Something else is pulsing in another tab. Messages appearing that you aren't reading, but still monitoring. Attention stretched thin between here and there, this and that, presence and anticipation. At some point, the mind forgot how to inhabit a single moment, a single task, a single breath. When was the last time you did one thing, just one, without the background hum of everything else insisting on being held at the same time? You remember being bored. Actually bored. Not the panic scroll kind of between moments filling. Real boredom that stretched like summer afternoons with nothing to check, nothing to update, nothing to respond to. Boredom that forced you inward instead of outward. That made you call someone just to hear their voice. That made you show up because showing up was all there was. Now boredom lasts 3 seconds before your hand reaches for the escape. 3 seconds before you choose distraction over depth. 3 seconds before you abandon yourself for the comfort of other people's thoughts, other people's lives, other people's noise. You've become allergic to your own company, unable to sit with yourself without entertainment, without stimulation, without the constant reassurance that somewhere else, something more interesting is happening. The last time you sat with someone without photographing the food, the last conversation you had without crafting it, the last sunset you watched without documenting it. You can't remember when these lasts happened, only that they did. And now every moment arrives pre-packaged for sharing. Every experience filtered through the question of how it will look to people who weren't there. You feel it at restaurants. Everyone's food cooling while phones eat first. The perfect angle more important than the perfect bite. The documentation more urgent than the experience being documented. You do it too, even though you know it's insane. Even though the photo will join thousands of others, never looked at again. Because not documenting feels like not living. Even though documenting is exactly what's keeping you from living. The camera pointed at your life has changed how you live it. You choose restaurants for their lighting. Plan outings for their backdrop potential. Arrange your home for the angles. Your existence has become set design for a show about your existence. You're living in third person, narrating your story while forgetting to be in it. That dream where you've lost your phone. The panic that wakes you. But underneath the panic, something else. Relief. The dream where you don't have to respond, react, record. Where you're condemned to the terrible freedom of being where you are with no escape route to everywhere else. The dream keeps coming because something in you keeps wanting it. The catastrophe that would give you permission to stop. You fantasize about the broken phone, the dead battery, place with no signal, not because you want to lose connection, but because you've forgotten how to choose disconnection. You need it imposed. Your body knows the truth your mind won't admit. The way your shoulders drop when the Wi-Fi fails. The involuntary smile when plans cancel. The secret exhale when someone else makes the decision. The strange peace when your phone dies and suddenly you're walking differently, seeing things instead of photographing them, being where you are because you can't be anywhere else. You used to have thoughts that belonged only to you, private reactions, secret opinions, internal experiences that never needed external validation. Now every thought arrives with the question, how would this sound as a post? Every reaction gets filtered through the lens of shareability. Every opinion measured against the algorithm of approval. You're not present anymore. You're omnipresent. Maintaining existence in 12 different conversations, 3 social platforms, and a constant background hum of potential interruption. Never fully here, never fully there, always partially everywhere. Your consciousness scattered like light through a prism, pretty but diluted, touching everything but warming nothing. The children who don't have phones yet, the way they move through space, fully embodied, completely absorbed, their attention undivided, their presence whole. You watch them with something between pity and envy. Pity because you know what's coming for them. Envy because they still have what you've lost. The ability to be in one place, at one time, as oneself. You had that once. Before you became your own surveillance system. Before you started living in third person, narrating your existence to invisible audiences. Before every moment became a choice between experiencing it or capturing it. Before you confused documentation with living. The old man at the coffee shop who still reads physical newspapers. The way he turns pages, fully absorbed. No notifications, no updates, no parallel processes running, just reading. You watch him like he's from another species. This person who can do one thing at a time without his hand twitching toward a device. He doesn't know he's performing a radical act, the act of undivided attention. That feeling when you watch old videos from before, not nostalgia for youth, but grief for presence. Those people aren't happier. They're just there, actually there. Not performing their there-ness, not proving their there-ness, not monetizing their there-ness, just there. The way you're never there anymore, even when your body is in the room. You've forgotten what your own thoughts sound like without the influence of everyone else's. Your opinions arrive pre-mixed with the crowd's. Your reactions shaped by what gets hearts. Your personality adjusted to what performs well. You're crowdsourcing your consciousness, outsourcing your inner life, living by committee in a body built for one. Every photo you don't take is a moment you actually live. Every story you don't post is a story you actually inhabit. Every notification you ignore is a small revolution. But you can't stop, because everyone else is doing it. Because not doing it feels like disappearing. Because you've forgotten how to exist without proving you exist. You've become your own paparazzi, your own publicist, your own audience, performing your life while missing it, creating content from what used to be existence, trading presence for proof of presence, not realizing their opposites. The vacation that becomes a photo shoot, the relationship that becomes a brand, the hobby that becomes a side hustle. Everything you love getting optimized, monetized, publicized, until you can't remember why you loved it. Until the thing itself disappears under the weight of its documentation. The worst part isn't what you've lost. It's that you're watching yourself lose it. Aware of the theft as it happens, knowing your attention is being stolen and opening the door wider. Recognizing the addiction while reaching for another hit. Understanding completely that the thing promising connection is creating isolation and choosing it anyway. That moment in the morning before you check your phone. Those 3 seconds of just being conscious. Not connected, not updated, not informed. Just aware. Your body existing without witness. Your thoughts thinking themselves without broadcast. You used to live there, in that space. Now you visit for 3 seconds before drowning in everyone else's elsewhere. The phantom vibration in your pocket. Your body creating sensations that aren't there, so trained to interruption that it manufactures its own. You reach for the device that isn't vibrating, check the nothing that isn't there, respond to the no one who didn't call. Your nervous system rewired for constant alert, mistaking stillness for emergency. You remember conversations that had nowhere else to go. No escape into scrolling when awkwardness arose. No rescue from boredom by checking something, anything. Just 2 people, forced to be with each other or leave. Forced to work through the awkward pause, the uncomfortable silence, the natural rhythm of human interaction that included space between words. Now every silence gets filled. Every pause gets panicked over. Every moment of non-stimulation feels like death. The space between thoughts, where creativity used to live, now stuffed with other people's content. The quiet, where your own voice might emerge, drowned in the noise of everyone else's broadcasting. The friend across from you at dinner, both of you looking at screens, together but alone. Sharing physical space while living in different digital worlds. The conversation happening in fragments between scrolls. The connection that isn't connecting. The presence that isn't present. Both of you there, but neither of you there. Maintaining the appearance of togetherness while living in separate elsewheres. But those old videos remind you of something your bones know. The interesting thing was being there. Actually being there. Not curating the there. Not sharing the there. Not comparing your there to everyone else's there. Just being there, with nothing to prove and no one to prove it to. The person you were before you became a brand. Before your life became content. Before your relationships became networking. Before your experiences became posts. That person still exists underneath the performance, waiting for you to put the phone down long enough to remember what your own thoughts sound like. You know what exhausts you most. Not the living, but the documenting. Not the being, but the broadcasting. Not the experiencing, but the explaining. Every moment requiring its own marketing campaign. Every feeling needing its own press release. Every thought demanding its own platform. The constant labor of existing for an audience that might not even be watching. You want that back. Not the past, but the presence. Not the time, but the attention. Not the simplicity, but the singularity. The ability to be where you are without being everywhere else. To do one thing without doing everything. To exist without proving it. That old footage isn't showing you better people. It's showing you people who only had to exist in one place at a time. Who could only be reached when they chose to be reachable. Who lived their lives without narrating them. Who had experiences without turning them into content. Who could be alone without being lonely, because alone meant with themselves, not with their devices. The irony burns. You've never been more connected and never felt more alone. Never had more friends and fewer intimates. Never shared more and revealed less. Never been more visible and more unseen, never documented more experiences and experienced less, never had more choices and felt less free. You're living in a state of continuous partial attention, never fully asleep, never fully awake, never fully working, never fully resting, never fully with others, never fully alone, always partially somewhere else, partially checking something else, partially being someone else. Your life a kind of quantum state, everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. That footage from before, it's not the past you're mourning, it's the present you're not present for. The life you're not living while you're busy proof of living. The connections you're not making while you're maintaining connections. The experiences you're not having while you're creating evidence of experiences. Your body is here, but your mind is distributed across servers. Your heart is beating, but your attention is elsewhere. Your life is happening, but you're not there to live it. You're too busy watching yourself live it, editing yourself living it, sharing yourself living it to actually live it. The child you were who could play without photographing play, who could think without tweeting thoughts, who could feel without posting feelings. That child knew something you've forgotten, that life doesn't need to be witnessed to be real, that experiences don't need to be shared to be valid, that you don't need to be seen to exist. There's a version where it stops, not forever, just for today, where you're unreachable, where moments pass undocumented, where experiences happen without witnesses, where you exist without proving it. There's a version where you return to your body, to this moment, to the life that's been waiting for you to stop performing long enough to live it. You'd have to face the silence you've been drowning out, the thoughts you've been avoiding, the person you've become while you were busy curating who you appear to be. You'd have to sit with yourself without the comfort of distraction, without the escape of other people's lives, without the numbing of constant input. But you'd also remember something, what your own thoughts sound like, what your own company feels like, what your own life tastes like without the filter of performance. You'd remember the person you were before you became content, before you became brand, before you became avatar. That person is still there, waiting in the space between notifications, living in the pause between scrolls, breathing in the moment before you reach for the device. Not gone, just buried under the endless effort of maintaining your digital existence while your actual existence atrophies from neglect. The child showing you something they made, but you're looking at it through your screen, already framing it for sharing. Missing their actual face while capturing their digital one. They learn to perform their joy bigger, brighter, more shareable. They learn that being seen means being filmed, that love means likes, that existence requires evidence. You're teaching them what you learned, that moments aren't real unless they're recorded, that experiences don't count unless they're shared, that life isn't lived unless it's posted. The walk you take while responding to messages, arriving at your destination with no memory of the journey, the meal you eat while scrolling, full but not fed, the conversation you have while monitoring notifications, heard but not listening, present in body, absent in everything else that makes presence real. The power button knows what you've forgotten. One moment of stillness from recovering what you've lost. One choice from returning to yourself. The life you're documenting is waiting for you to live it. The notification that just arrived while you were reading this. The pull, the itch, the almost physical need to check, even though you know it's nothing urgent, probably nothing important, definitely nothing that can't wait. But waiting feels impossible when you've been trained to respond immediately, salivating for the next hit of stimulation. The waiting room where everyone stares at screens. The elevator where no one speaks. The sidewalk where bodies navigate around each other, each in their own digital bubble, present enough not to collide, but not present enough to connect. Sharing space while living in completely different dimensions, together in location, alone in attention. Long enough to remember who you were before you became someone else's content. Long enough to hear your own thoughts again. Long enough to return to the life that's been happening without you while you've been busy elsewhere. Something returns when the screen goes dark. Something that was always there, waiting. You already know what's waiting there. Not in your pocket, not on your screen, but in the space between this breath and the next, where you've always existed, before you forgot you were enough without evidence. The presence you're mourning never left. You did. Who were you before you needed proof you existed?